So session is going to be recorded. See this one, guys. So I brought you something for you. Okay. Let us consider one of the situation inside a trigger. Okay. This is very interesting thing today. Okay. So this is how like we slightly vary it from synchronous to asynchronous part. Okay. So I'll introduce you both. Wait. See, let us say in our project, we have one of the situation, right? See, you consider these are the users. Okay. There is a user one and user two. Okay. Let us consider one of the user is a Manikanta and another user is sales admin user. Okay. So two users are there in our organization, right? And you consider there are some accounts. Let us say, for example, accounts like A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, and A8. Let's say, for example, these many accounts are there in my organization, and these two users are available in my organization. Let us consider the manager of this sales admin. The manager of this sales admin is Manikanta. Okay. So the manager of the sales admin is Manikanta. Okay. So that means U1 is manager of U2. Okay. Who is a manager for a sales admin here? Manikanta. Remember that. Now, if you consider Manikanta is holding two account records and sales admin is holding couple of records. Okay. Sales admin is holding. Holding means the owner of all these records. Okay. So the owner of A4 to A8. Who is the owner here? Sales admin. You consider sales admin is the owner. Okay. Sales admin is the owner. The owner of A1 comma A2. Who is the owner here? Manikanta. Consider like this. Again, I'm repeating the situation. Okay. In our organization, there are two users are there, user one and user two. User one is a manager for U2. That means sales admin is a subordinate for Manikanta and Manikanta is a manager for the sales admin. Okay. So as per the situation in our organization, Manikanta is holding two accounts. Holding means Manikanta is the owner for these two accounts. Owner means this is the owner. For every record, there will be a owner, right? See, this is the record, account record, and he is the owner, right? Manikanta is the owner for these two records. Similarly, sales admin is the owner for this 5 records. Okay, A4 to A8. Okay. Now coming to the question, you understand the situation. So I think no one will have a doubts because it's very clear which I've been explained you. Okay. So two users are there. Two users are having associated to these accounts as a bonus. Now, now understand the situation. If I deactivated, okay, if I deactivated this user, now question is, if I deactivated any one of the user, okay, if that user is holding the accounts, all those accounts ownership need to be changed to the respective manager. Change the ownership of accounts to a respect to deactivated users manager. Understand this statement. Understand this statement. Change the ownership of account. You have to change this ownership of account to the respective deactivated users manager. Let's say, for example, if I deactivated this sales admin, if I deactivated this sales admin, what happens is, if I deactivated this sales admin is, what happens is, the respective ownership will be changed to this users manager. That means whenever the user has been deactivated, who will become the ownership here? The deactivated users respective manager. That means Manikanta will become as a user for all this A4 to A8 records. Understand the situation, everyone, please. Whenever you deactivated the user, okay, check that user respective ownership account records and change the ownership to the deactivated users manager. The deactivated users manager. Let us make a formation here. Let us make the environment. Go to the users, click on the users, open two users. Manikanta is one of the users, sales admin is another user. Okay. When comes to the sales admin, who is the manager for that sales admin here? I go here. Okay. Who is the manager for sales admin here? Okay. Manikanta. And who is the manager? Manikanta is the manager. Remember this point. So this situation is ready. Okay. Now go and observe. Now go and observe. Let's come here. Open these account records. Let us see how many sales admin records are available. Okay. There are two sales admin accounts are there. For example, okay. If I deactivated this user, that means if I deactivated this user, these two accounts ownership will be changed to the, these two account records ownership will be changed to the Manikanta. So I'll open this one specifically. I just opened here specifically. Let us see. Okay. So let us see what happens. When I deactivated these users, the ownership will be changed to the respective manager. Who is the respective manager? Manikanda is the respective manager. It has to change automatically. So at the moment right now, in my project, the sales reps are doing manually. They will identify the deactivated user and they will open those bunch of account records and then manually clicking on edit button and changing the ownership physically. Okay, so let us say there are only two records right now because here we are having a less amount of data. But what happens in the real time, we are having the millions of data, right? So in that case, doing manual stuff is a very important. Doing manual stuff is not a right thing for us. Okay. So because everything has to be happened automatically. Now in this situation, how many objects are involved? So if you see, two objects are being involved. One is user object and another one is account object. User object and account object. Now tell me trigger on which object. My goal is to change the ownership of accounts. When your goal has to be satisfied, whenever user has been deactivated, okay, whenever user has been deactivated, then only I want to bring that user's manager, deactivated user's managers to be a ownership of that account. Now you tell me, which object should I write a trigger? Can anyone idea? If you understand the situation, you can easily tell.
Account.
I want to change the ownership of these accounts.
User object.
Yes, I want to change the ownership of these accounts. When I want to change the ownership of this account means whenever user has been deactivated. So I will write trigger on user object. Now tell me which mode you will go, before or after?
After.
After. Now tell me trigger event.
After update.
Exactly. After, we'll go for an after update because it's very simple. See, to decide a trigger on which object and which mode and which events, if you understand the situation, then you can easily understand. Then you can easily, you can go it. Now tell me, how can you say whether user is inactivated or not? You'll come here, you click on edit button and you uncheck this option and clicking on the cell so that the record will be deactivated. That means user will be a deactive mode. Now let us see. Clicking on this option, clicking on new, okay. I'll go with Apex trigger. Now Apex trigger on user object.
User of.
Select the user. So I will give like a user trigger. It's already there. Okay, let me create. So now it is created. Trigger, user trigger on user object. And what is the event I have to give? Update. So as I said yesterday, okay, I don't want to go with an logic inside a trigger. I'll go with the logicless triggers. So to do that, we need to create a class and just put user trigger handler. Okay, this is a class. Okay, now I want to manage the after update mode in this trigger. So how can you manage? You just create a method public. Either you go with a static or non-static. Yesterday we go with a static. Today we'll go with a non-static. Public void. Okay, so do after update. After update means you will have so many things, right? So what we'll have here? List of users. That means new users list. Okay, and map of id comma users. So what will you have? New users map, right? And what else you will have? You will have a old map as well. Save this one, right? You have a new new map, old, old map. Why? Because this is an after update. After update. No, no comma here. Save. So class saved successfully. Now you come here, you instantiate that class as an object. So this is the way how you want to make a communication. Now you consider if trigger dot is after and trigger dot is update. Then you consider this handler dot use this method name. So we are calling non-static method with the object to reference. This is the object. So it can accept trigger dot new, trigger dot new map,
World,
old,
world map.
yes, trigger dot old map. This is what we have done yesterday. Okay, we are passing the inputs from trigger to apex class. In the functionality, in the part of fundamentals, we have passed inputs from anonymous window to apex classes, and also we passed inputs from one class method to another class method, right? So similarly we are doing the same stuff. So by just instantiation, okay, by just doing some instantiation, this is nothing but an object. So I'm calling this method with the object to reference. That means it is a non-static method and supplying in these 4 parameters. So now all those 4 parameters will be available here, all those data. So when whatever the user record has been updated and system has been provided the data is available here. Okay, the data is available here. Now let us see how you can deal. You consider for, because you want to do the bulkification of your code. Okay, bulkification of your code. Let's consider this new list. Okay, so we don't require to work with all these collection variables, but we collected it, okay, for the next future purpose. Okay, so that's the reason I don't want to change my trigger multiple times. Okay, now iterate the updated users and filterize the deactivated user. So I want to be filterize the deactivated user. How you know whether a user is deactivated or not? So how you identify? So come here, if this checkbox is unchecked, then you can consider the user has been updated to an inactive. So let's consider user dot is active. So what is the API name of this active means? There's a backend field name called as is active. Is active. Okay, so that's what I used. Is active false. Negotiation. Some people also write like this. Anything is fine. Anything is fine. Okay. Is active is false, double equal to false, or you can put negotiation. Negotiation means, let's say user is deactivated. So this option will be a false. False of not means true. So it will come inside to this loop. Okay. So we have been allowed only deactivated user in this loop. Now what else? Now what else? I want to make a map here. For this user, this is the manager. I want to prepare a map. Okay. So prepare a map. So now let us see. Let me create a map variable, map of id comma id. Okay, user id with manager id, map equal to new map of id comma id. Okay, come here, map of. So I just prepared this map. You will get a clarity why I prepared this map. So put this one, map of, put of user id comma user related manager id. Okay, we prepared a map to store, to refer deactivated user with their manager id, key as user id and value as manager id, value as manager id. Okay, so this is what we have been captured in this map. Cut this one and put it here. Now you prepared this map. What you will do? What you will do with this map? Now logic starts. Okay, you check this option. If this map is not empty, then go inside. Okay, if map is not empty, what you will do? Okay, query the account records. See, select id comma owner id from account where this is the logic, owner id in, or you can also give like this, owner id, you supply this one dot key set. What it is doing, it gives list of account records. Okay, deactivated users related accounts. Okay, so you will get a clarity what this below line is doing. Okay, we queried the user, we queried the account records of deactivated users. Okay, so we queried the account records of deactivated users. These are the records, these are the list of records which comes from the deactivated users. So how you know whether these are deactivated users? Because you prepared a map. In this map you put a key. What is this key? Key is nothing but a user id. Key is nothing but a user id. Which user id? It is nothing but a deactivated user id. So that user related, that what's doing here? Someone is doing on my screen. Annotated. Someone is drawing on my screen here. Please wait. Yeah, you guys can hear me, right? See, this is the list where we have been prepared. This list of records will have the account records. Account records. Now iterate each and every account record. Iterate each and every account record. So what you will do, okay? Now why you prepare this map means you will get a clarity now, okay? See, if this map dot contains key of ACC dot owner ID. What will be there in the owner ID? Deactivated users owner ID. Okay, if this map contains, then what you will do? ACC dot owner ID equal to this map will have the manager ID. How you will give that map? ACC dot ID. Sorry, owner ID. So here assigning manager ID. Assigning manager ID. Okay, replacing manager ID. Okay, so this is a check. Okay, so this is a query and this is a check, and here you are assigning a value. You are assigning a value to this manager ID and you are replacing. Okay, and here you are replacing. Now, so it will iterate and you collect this data. So list of account to update accounts list equal to new list of account. Copy this one and dot add of ACC. Okay, that means you are just added to the collection variable. Okay, we just collected a value in the list. Now come out of this for loop and you check it. If this list is not empty, then you perform update operation. Save it. See what we have done. We have a list of users who got updated. In that, we filterized only deactivated users and we created a map. This is the user ID. This is a deactivated user ID and that related manager ID. And we queried this deactivated user ID all the account records. And we are iterating each and every account record. Okay, that account record will have the previous owner ID, right? Deactivated user ID, right? And if it matches with this, and we are replacing this ID with this manager, that is the logic. And we are supplying to an update operation. Okay, so this is what the simple logic what we have been written for this situation. Okay, now let's try to do the implementation of this one. So we are having the account records. Who is the owner for this account records? Sales admin. Sales admin is the owner for this account records. Okay. Now come here. Click on sales admin. Edit it. Uncheck this guy. You unchecked him. Click on save. Let us see how many errors are there. See, when you're making a user deactivated, when you're making user as a deactivated, definitely there will be an dependencies will be coming into the picture. It will ask some dependencies if it is there. You cannot deactivate this user because you cannot deactivate the user who is receiving a leads as a part of lead assignment rule. There is a lead assignment rule on this user. That means dependency is there. You have to remove the dependencies. Then only you can only deactivate the user. See, there are dependencies is there. So let's open this guy. See, there is a dependency on this sales admin. Okay, so we have to remove these dependencies. Or you have to replace that user with another user. Okay, until and unless you cannot deactivate it. Now let's deactivate again. Yes, this is what the exception I am expecting. See, when you're trying to inactivate, you got an exception saying that mixed DML exception. What is that? Mixed DML exception, the most askable interview question. And it is a common error in the real time. Okay, you have to provide a solution. So what happens is, if you consider this is a transaction, okay, if you consider this a user trigger or a transaction or a log, whatever it may be, okay, what is happening is both objects, user and accounts, user and account are updating, doing DMLs. Here DML has been happened. Here DML is happening. So what I'm trying to say is, you clicked on save button, okay, and you're through your code you are making a DML on the account. That means both DMLs is happening in the same transaction. Is it not allowed? Earlier examples we have done, right? We created or we updated a contact and we populated a value on the parent account. Whenever a new account has been created, okay, a new contact has been created, right? Whenever a high priority case has been created and we posted something information onto the feed item, that means two objects has been involved, DMLs, in the same transaction from last couple of days. But why today it is not allowing us to deal? Okay, guys, can you hear me?
No, a lot of disturbance is there.
Disturbance is there?
Yeah.
Voice disturbance or?
Your voice breaking.
Voice is breaking actually.
Oh, you have to intimate me before, right? Okay, just give me a second. Let's check. Still, if it is breaking, let me know.
Now it's fine.
Yeah. See, both user update and account update is happening in the same time. What happens? Earlier also have done, right? Earlier account and contact, account, and also we have been account contacts cases is happened. Okay. And case and feed item is happened. So what's the specialty in this today? Means user is not a normal object. User is a setup object. User is a setup object. And all accounts, contacts, opportunities, and all standard objects are nothing but a non-setup objects. Okay, non-setup objects. Okay, got the point? Setup objects. What do you mean by setup? Means this is related to the metadata. Okay, see, tell me one question. Now, if you log into the sales administrator, you can view these two records because he got an access of these two records, right? Did you apply security for the user records? Are you able to apply security for these user records? No, because these are the system related stuff. Profiles, roles, groups, members, all these are nothing but a setup related stuff. All these are related to a setup related stuff. So that means the records what are available in that can be visibility to across the org, not respected to the record level securities. You cannot apply record level securities. So that is the reason we can consider it as a setup objects. All those belongs to setups. Okay, setup. So what is the bottom line? What I'm trying to say to you is, if a transaction is dealing either insert or update or delete, whatever it may be, okay, if it is dealing both setup and non-setup object, okay, setup and non-setup object within the same transaction, definitely you will get an exception called as mixed DML exception. What is that exception here? Mixed DML. So you will get a mixed DML exception. Then how to survive? Then how to overcome this one? Okay, then how to overcome this one? Then how to overcome this one? It is very simple. Okay, you have to split the transaction. What you have to do here? You have to split the transaction. You have to split the transaction. So how you can split means, okay, you create another piece that is called asynchronous. Asynchronous mode. You happen the account update here. Account update here. This is synchronous. Call as trigger. Okay, you can make user update here. User update here. That means you are splitting the transaction. You are splitting the transaction. Okay, let user to be updated. Let my accounts need to be updated in the backend. I'm not bothering about that. It's a asynchronous. It's a separate kind of a thread. Okay, we are till today we are working on the synchronous. Synchronous means always gives the immediate results. Asynchronous means it won't give the immediate results. It takes some time whenever the system is free. Okay, it takes some time whenever the system is free. That's called asynchronous. So let's see. There are different types of options are there in asynchronous. One is like future method and queuable apex and batch job and scheduler apex. These are the four concepts what are available in asynchronous. Okay, these are the only four concepts that are available in asynchronous. Today we'll see about the future method. Okay, so let us see how we can deal. We are splitting the transaction now. Let's split this transaction. Let's create like this: public static void. Compulsory, the future must be a static method. Okay, the future method must be a static method. Remember it. Okay, static. Do account update. Save this one. This is a normal method. Okay, this is a normal method. What happened? Okay. See. I just wrote inside a method. You should be come out of the method. Public static void do account update. Save this one. This is an account update. Now, this is a normal method. You have to intimate to the system, boss, please consider this is not a normal method. Okay, so I'll tell you, see. Let's cut all this stuff. Okay, put inside this method. Okay, and you supply this map here. You supply this map here. Okay, and you are supplying this map here and it will be gathered. I did not change the logic. I switched the logic into one of the method. I switched the logic into one of the method. That's it. Save this one. I saved this one. This is a method, normal method. Okay, normal method. I just switch a logic. Let user to be happen there itself. I'm not bothering about it. Okay, but account update must not be happened here. So that's why I splitted it. Now say to the system, this logic, you take time. You happen this in the future, not right away. Okay, we are not expecting to update the account records immediately. Whenever system is free, you take it time. That comes under as asynchronous. You are not expecting the results to be happen immediately within the second. Okay, let's take time. That comes under as asynchronous process. So you have to say to the system, take time, future. What you have to mention at the rate future. Let's save this one. See, it saved successfully. Now you have to call this method, copy this method, come out of this for loop. You can call this method and you can supply this variable here and save it. Right? It saved successfully. Okay. So you're calling this method. Okay. That means, and you are saying to the system, it is a future. Okay. This is a nothing but an annotation. What we can call this one? This is nothing but an annotation. Okay. This is nothing but an annotation. So before going to the execution of this method, I like to tell you some more stuff about this future. See. Do something, save this one. Okay. Why it is not saving again? Return type I missed it. Okay. So that's why it's not saving. Okay. See, I'm just want to explain you about the future. So this is what? This is the accurate signature, right? Here, if I give an integer, save this one. Let's check whether it is accepted or not. Yeah, it is accepted. It accepts the integer. Let's see it accepts the string or not. Yes, it accepts the string. Okay, you can consider this a variable, no worries. Okay, it can accept a string, right? That means it is accepting the primitive data types. Let us see it will accept the account or not. See, it is not accepting. So it won't accept S objective types. Are you getting the point? It won't accept the S objective stuff. Okay. It won't accept the S objective. Okay. That means it will only accept the primitive data types. Then consider about list of integers. Let's save this one. Yes, it accepts the collection variable with the generic type as an integers. That means primitive data types. Let's see about a string it will accept. Yes, it is accepting the strings. Okay, list of strings. Let's check whether it accepts the S object, list of S objects. No, it is not accepting. Remember this one. That's why I did not pass it the account records here. I just passed it the IDs. Okay, that means I passed it the variable declarations. So, okay. Can I put any return type here instead of void? Let's see. Integer return null. Save this one. See, you cannot use a return type also because there is no reference point for the future. I don't know when it happens. Okay, so you cannot return a data. So that's the reason Salesforce is not returning the data because you don't know when this one will be happen. So that's the reason. These are the benefits of your future method. So what you're trying to do is you're slightly splitting the transaction. So if setup object and non-setup objects, the results are happening the same time, you will get a mixed DML exception. To avoid mixed DML exception, so generally we use @future. Most askable interview question. Okay, boss, I got a mixed DML exception. How you can overcome it? Okay, boss, you have to use a @future annotation. That means why means you are splitting the transaction. So this is synchronous and this is asynchronous. Okay, so you're going to happen the account record update in the future, and you call this method from this actual update so that system will be taken care. So let us see. Earlier you got a mixed DML exception, right? Right. So let's see. Save. See, the user got deactivated. Okay, the user got deactivated. And here, refresh this. These two records need to be removed because these bonus are not. These bonus must be changed. Okay, so to monitor that, here you have a monitor section because we don't know when this happens, right? Here there is Apex jobs will be there. Open that Apex jobs, and you can see. So this is the future. What happens here right now, and it is completed. There is no problem. Okay, so right now we are having the less records and our org is very free. So that's why very immediately it has been picked up. But in the real time, it took some time. Okay. So now let's come here and check the results. Refresh, reload this one. See, those two records has been removed from this list view. That means the users has been changed. Earlier it is a sales admin. When I refresh the screen, the sales admin is deactivated. Instead of that sales admin, okay, the respective manager has been populated here, right? Reload. Is populated. So that is the beauty of this trigger. Okay, this is so slightly we have been variated from synchronous to asynchronous. You just put in your brain. Synchronous means the results will be happen immediately. Asynchronous means the result will be happen sometime. It goes to another transaction. If you see the two transactions is coming into the picture. First time the two transactions will come into the picture. This is one of the transaction. We can call it as future handler. Future handler. Okay, this is nothing but a future handler. Okay, this is one of the transaction. This is another transaction. Two transactions came to the picture right away. Two transactions came, right? Two transactions. In this transaction, user update will be happen. In this transaction, account update will be happen. Okay, future, the name itself, it is saying future handler operation means whenever the system is free, it will be do asynchronously. Asynchronous means the results will never happen immediately. Whenever system is free, the Salesforce will allow you. Okay, this is a small part where you can deal with a future method. Okay, so this is a piece of block. Today, we have shifted only this piece of block to the asynchronous mode. From tomorrow onwards, I can directly completely switch this entire class to the asynchronous mode. Today, we have switched only the piece of block to an asynchronous mode. From the tomorrow session, we are going to be migrate this complete stuff, complete Apex class into the asynchronous mode. Okay, we will be split it into the chunks. Okay, okay. So all these things will coming into the next sessions. So please be available. This is what the best scenario, what I have been delivered you today is slightly migrating from synchronous to asynchronous part. So in that situation, when you can go for these situations means whenever you got a mixed DML exceptions. Okay, in our project, when you are deactivating the users, we have to change the ownership of deactivated user to the activated user. For that cases, we need this one. Okay, that's the reason we have been created. Okay, so I request you people to watch this video multiple times and get some knowledge on this asynchronous process. This is what I have to deliver today. Okay, please get some hands-on on part of this one. Okay, you try only this one today. No matter what are the scenarios I given, what are the trigger examples which I given for you in the class levels. Okay, you first try this one because we are migrated to the asynchronous process. Okay, this is an annotation. We can call it as annotation. Annotation means giving information to the system. First time you have given information to the system, boss, consider this method as a not a normal method. You consider this method as a future method, which happens in the future handler. Okay, such kind of an information that I have been delivered to you today. So this is very, very important and it will decide your job factor. I request everyone has to be focused only on this situation today. Okay, so let us check tomorrow. Again, I'll go with this asynchronous process. Okay, let's check with your practice wise and get some questions. Please post your questions in the WhatsApp group so that I can be reply on top of it. Okay, go through this video one more time. Thank you guys. I'll post this video within 10 minutes. Okay, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 again.